yourself to your practice. So, all right, I'm sitting on a blanket, just so you know, and I'm going to sit in Virasana, but you sit whatever way makes sense. Good. All right. And we're just going to start with the prayer wheel we've been doing. So you bring your hands together and inhale nice and tall. And as you exhale, just extend the fingers out and down. Bring the backs of the hands together and the fingers trace up. And then let your eyes close once you have that motion. And feel that, you know, your breath is maybe drawing the fingers up and the exhale is releasing. Good. And we'll just do this. And, you know, you start to let it become more of a flowy dance. So it just happens. Good. And let's do one more in this direction. You'll finish your exhale. And then as you inhale, you'll just change the direction you're going in. So just find it. Don't overthink it too much. And let's do maybe one or two more. Just inviting in what's out and out to within, and then joining the palms together at your heart. Rest your thumbs on your upper chest. On your inhale, lengthen yourself tall, press your sit bones down. And as you exhale, keep that length, bow your chin. And just starting here, this position of devotion, just acknowledging that you have created this space for yourself. And before we open, I'm just going to do one more little mudra here. So keep the palms pressed together, but slide the hands so that the fingers are pointing towards the opposite forearms. And then start to just massage your forearms, go all the way up to the upper arms, just like as if, oh, it's so cold, or I just need a little bit of this. And you'll just make your way back down, the palms come together, you change direction, and do it again. Okay, so now you've got this. Just do it a few times. You can close your eyes. Just feel that little bit of pressure on the arms. Good. All right, and just finishing up, maybe do one more, whatever direction you're in, and then we'll bring the hands, palms back together in front of the heart. And just tune into what that has energetically released or called forth. Just your own sacred touch. And into that, friends, we'll open practice and chant Om together 3 times. Let's start with just a nice big breath in. Release the breath completely. Inhale fully. Bowing your chin, release your hands to your thighs and lift your chin, open your eyes. Okay, just give your hands a little shaky. Just, yeah, maybe up high. Good. Yes, shut it out. That just looks awesome. And then we'll bring the hands down and we'll start on your backs. Let's have a block nearby. And if you want to put whatever you were sitting on underneath your head, then just place that. Good. Okay. And then we'll just start lying down. You could have your legs stretched straight or bent. Just take a few moments here. And just drop into the floor. And feel your shoulders releasing. Maybe the arms or the elbows will go a little wider out. And the tops of the shoulders can just drop. Good. Okay. Take the arms over the head, and whether you have your legs bent or straight, stretch yourself nice and long, like Open up what you can here. Take a big breath. And as you breathe out, we'll bring the arms up and over, and you're going to bring your knees into your chest. So you can bend your knees one at a time or float them in together. And then once you have the knees in, just rock them in and out. Nothing really to get to. You're just opening up the low back. You can let your tailbone even lift. Maybe you even assist it using your abdominals a little bit. Just feel good. Okay. Nice. And then bring it into center. We'll just hold the knees wherever they go. You might walk your hands down the shins and just draw in into a different place. Notice if you're clenching your glutes a lot, maybe you can let that go a bit. And then we'll just keep the left knee into the chest, extend the right leg out along the floor, if that's okay for you. And just come back to just rocking this left knee in and out. This is almost a massage for your inner abdominal organs, intestines, and all of that. And we're just gonna hug this left knee in as tight as it's gonna go. Press out through the right heel. You can even close your eyes. Flex your feet. Beautiful breathing. Good. And then we'll stretch this leg up to the sky. And just take your hands behind the leg. Let's start with a little leg massage. Just mush this leg, whatever you can reach. We're just massaging the back muscles of the quadricep and the hamstring. Yes. Good. Okay, and I'm just going to paint lines with my hands, just up and down this leg, on the side of the leg, front and back of the leg. And then we'll settle into interlacing the hands behind the center of your thigh. Now I'm really putting my mind into the right leg. I'm going to just flex the foot, anchor the heel, and then flex your left foot. Slowly start to press the heel up. And your leg might go straight, and it might not be ready for that. So just feel that. Wherever you have your leg, okay, bent or straight, see if you can invite a little bit of your low back curve, almost like you're, tilting the groins to the floor. It might not happen. You just explore it. Go, oh, can I lift my low back up off the floor? And if that doesn't even make sense, don't worry. You'll know if you hit it because the right leg gets a little longer. Good. Take one more breath. Okay, just going to take the hands up the back of the leg a little more. Draw your belly in and up, lift your head and chest, and just draw this leg towards your face, wherever it's going to go. Bring the elbows in, drop the shoulders. If you could look at your foot, you just get extra points from the neck. Good. One more breath. And then release. Take your arms down by your side. Keep the leg extended. Press up through the heel. And then slowly lower the leg down like someone's pulling on your left foot. Keep your hands relaxed. Okay. So as soon as I come down, I'm right close to the wall. This leg is longer already, just from that little bit. But once you get both legs down, just feel into, you can let your feet flop, your hands rest. You can close your eyes and just tune into what you've shifted in that little bit. And we'll just go second side. We'll start with the arms over the head. Give yourself a big stretch, legs straight out or bent. You can stretch either way. Good. Nice. Let's take one more big breath in. And as you breathe out, we'll bring the right knee into the chest. Opposite, interlace your fingers. And just hug it in and out. This is just that inner organ massaging, intestinal massaging. Yes. A little flexion into your feet. A smile on your face. And ease of breath. Good. Okay, I'm just going to draw this thigh in as close as I can get it without taking extra tension in the shoulders, the face, your third eye. Press out through the left side a little bit. Flex the right foot. So both feet are flexed. You're just really grounding through the left leg. And then softening on the inner thigh, if that's possible. Good. Okay. If you feel you want to walk your hands up and down the shin, maybe you were already doing that. Just hug it in different planes. Good. All right. And then from here, friends, we're going to extend this leg up and just take your hands, whatever you can do here to get the leg. So if you have to bend a lot, do that. And just massage the back of your leg. You might be using your thumbs on the side. Just mush. And then I'm just going to paint lines up and down this leg a few times. Hey, leg, I love you. You're strong. You carry me. Thank you for all you do. And then bring your hands opposite interlace behind the center of the thigh. You start to push this thigh into the hands. So here my leg is bent. I'm just showing that is just fine. You can straighten it. It's fine. Wherever you are, look for your lower back curve. And so if you're really forcing the leg to go straight before it's ready, you probably feel your lower back is just pressing into the floor. So be, conservative. You need to bend your knee, press the thigh back. Breathe. And then we'll prepare for the lift off. So soften and take your hands up higher. You stay here as you inhale. As you exhale, draw the belly down. Lift your head and your chest. Pull this leg in towards you. Elbows come in. You look up at your foot. That's great, but wherever you are, you're doing the work. Good. One more breath. And then you'll exhale. Just take your arms down. Keep the leg lifted. You'll inhale. Then exhale as you press through the heel as you bring the leg down. And take your time. And then once the leg comes down, we're just going to rest into that. Let the feet flop, arms rest. Take a few breaths. Good. Okay. So I'm going to bend the knees, put both feet on the floor. I'm going to do that at the same time. If you want to turn your palms down for grounding, anchor the upper arms. You'll inhale, and as you exhale, just find it. Feet down on the floor. Okay. Walk your heels in towards your hips a little bit more. And the feet are going to be about hip distance apart. So that's not out to the sides, in line with your hips. Feel like maybe, let's start with a little pigeon toe. Like can I turn my heels out? I feel a little pigeon toe. And then your feet might move when we come up. We're going to lift the hips. So if the feet need to move, let that happen. Bring your arms right down by your sides, palms face down. Anchor the upper arms. Yep. Press the back of the head into the floor. And feel your feet on the floor. And just pause here in this anchored place. Take your mind to your feet and feel like, both sides of my heels are connected to the floor. The inner foot, the outer foot, and the toes are light. Just tune into your feet for a moment. Okay. And then inhale. As you exhale, press that mid belly into the floor. So right at the bottom of the ribs. Feel your tailbone lift. We'll inhale. And on your exhale, you anchor into the feet. Start to lift your hips up. Maybe the arms come up and over your head. If that's okay for your neck. I automatically lift my head and replace it on the floor. Press your feet down and away. Lift your hips a little higher if there's room. If you want to lift your heels, maybe you go a little higher. And then exhale. Keep the arms over your head as you lower down. Keep the arms over your head as you lower down. And once the hips are down, then lift your straight arms up over your head and bring them down. And then just be here. Feel all of that. We're going to do it 2 more times. So the anchoring back of the head, the upper arms, the feet. Tune into your feet. Maybe pigeon toe them a little bit again just to start. Okay. Then we inhale. The exhale is about grounding the mid belly down so the tailbone lifts. Then we inhale. And on the exhale, we do the lifting. Maybe the arms come up and over your head again. Readjust. If you can lift up high, you might even walk your feet back again. And then lift up one more time from that. Well, wherever you are, One more breath. And then lower down in any way that makes sense. I'm just going to take one breath in the middle. And that time I'm preparing, and then inhale to lift off, come back up. Find your place here. I'm just going to walk my feet back, lift up a little higher. If there's room, stretch your fingers, stretch your arms. I'm going to stay lifted and bring the arms back down by the side. So I'm still lifted. I'm going to lift up a little higher. One more breath. And then exhale, lower down. Stretch your legs out. Just take a few moments of do nothing. Just feel all that good stuff. Okay. All right. So we're going to stay on your backs for maybe a little bit longer. Turn your toes up to the sky so the heels are on the floor. And separate your legs, let's say maybe like mat distance apart. Okay. Then we're just going to bend just the left leg. Put the left foot on the floor. So it's it's out, and you can walk it out a little bit. Okay, your arms maybe out to the side or over your head. And we're just going to push into the left foot. So you lift the left side of your body and you're rolling onto your right side. And then you're just rolling back. So we're just going to do this a few times. As you roll back, let the left knee open to the left. So it's really about the knee moving in and out and opening up through the side. So like maybe you do this stretch, you're just waking up in the morning. Okay, the next time you roll to the right side, we're going to roll all the way over to the right. I'm just going to adjust my camera angle until you come right onto your right side. You can prop up under your arm. Yes, okay. I'm going to take my left hand and just see if I can reach back and find my left. Yeah, so now as soon as you do this, you're going to push the foot into the hand. Take your belly in. Just for a moment, find your balance. Woo! Okay, one more. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the toes and just tuck the toe. I'm just going to switch sides super quick. I'm going to tuck the toes under. See if I can get the toes to come to the floor. And then we're going to roll back. So you're going to be kind. You use your hands on the floor. I'm coming back onto my back. So maybe the foot needs to go out more. You just be kind. If coming on the back doesn't work, then just stay on your side. You might bend the right foot too. That might help. So you feel what you need to do here to bring this in. This can be very intense. This is a quadricep stretch. So be kind and loving. And if you're still holding your foot, that's fine. We're just opening up the front of the thigh. Take one more breath. So you could all be in very different positions. That's it. Okay, now I'm going to come back. So I'll just see if I can release the foot. You might roll over to your right side and then release the foot. And then just come back onto your back, both legs out. Just feel the beginning of that. Okay, and then we'll do the second side. So I'll start by opening the legs, mat distance, heels on the floor, toes pointing up. Bend your right leg, right foot to the floor. Be generous with how far you want that foot. You can walk it in or out. Then you feel that foot on the floor, press down, roll over to the left side, let the knee come in, and then roll yourself back and let the knee open. So just be, playfully curious here. Whatever's happening is good. So just rolling. Whew. I have no idea what that was, but something fell. Okay. All right. And so this time you roll all the way to the left side, and we're going to hang out here. Prop your head up. Okay, then you find your balance. See if you can grab hold. Here's where, you might be rocking all over. You just find your stability. Can you press the foot into the hand? Anchor through the left side. Now I'm going to just come on over. So however you need to do that, you find the toes to the floor, maybe the tops of the foot. You roll yourself back and you just be so kind and curious. Oh, maybe I can take that foot out. The knee comes down. Maybe not. Maybe the left foot needs to bend. If you're down, then I would say bend your left foot, lift your hips, and just kind of shift them to the left a little bit. Be wherever you are. Breathe here. You can still be holding the foot. All fine. One more breath. Okay, then we'll release. Maybe you roll onto the left side to release. Both legs out and just breathe. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna bring both knees into the chest again. Actually, before I do that, I'm just gonna take this blanket out from behind my head. No surprises, friends. We're gonna rock and roll up to sitting. So bring both knees into your chest any way you get them. And to start by just hugging them in and out, just like we do. Just in and out, not rocking so much. Okay, so I'm gonna give you two options for rocking. So just bring the knees in, just hang out. You'll decide which one's the best. You either put your hands behind your thighs and rock and roll, or you cross one ankle over the other. Wrap your arms around the outside of the legs, find the soles of your feet, and then we start to rock. So however you've done it, just rock and roll. And if you know this is a lot of effort, you can't get up, that's fine. Just do it. You're massaging your spine. And good. And then whenever you're ready, you'll just come to sitting, and we'll just take a few moments here, you know, just because we've been down a little bit. Let everything come back. Nice and easy. Good. Okay. All right, then we're going to start in child's pose. Okay. So bring yourself onto your hands in your knees, and then tops of the feet to the floor. And we'll set the heels, hips to heels. And if that doesn't really fit for you, just throw a blanket in between. And then we'll walk the hands out, lower the head to the floor. Or if it's better to prop your head up, you know, you could use your block that we didn't use a moment ago. But whatever one, just find your child's pose. And just settle in here as if you're, you know, even though you might be feeling certain body parts talking to you, just do your best to melt behind your heart, your jaw. And that's it. So take one more big breath in. Breathe out. And then make your way up to your hands and your knees. And if you need a blanket under your knees, put it there. I'm just going to tuck the little toes under. And when I tuck my toes under, I'm actually taking them for a walk. I just keep lifting and see if I can get them in a little deeper. Good. Okay. Press your hands into the floor and start to arch your back up to the sky. Melt your head to the floor. Pull your tail towards your head. And then as you exhale, melt the belly down, lift the chin, lift the hips. Now push the hands into the floor to lift the chest a little more. Good. Okay, keep the pressure of the hands as you round your back up to the sky. Tuck your tail, pull your head and your tail towards each other. And then as you exhale, there's a softening of the hands to drop the belly, roll the shoulders back. And then at the peak of the pose, push the hands down, look up. Good. And just explore this a few rounds. Moving with your breath, feel the connection of the hands to the floor. Good. Let's take one more full cat pose, arching up to the sky, and cow pose, looking up to the sky. And then keep looking up with the toes tucked under. I'm just going to take the hips towards the heels, and I'm going to keep looking up. And as you keep looking up, eventually, you start to look forward and down, and I'm going to stretch out into child's pose here with the toes tucked under to open the feet. If you need to be on your forearms or your hands, you find it. If you can drop your forehead to the floor, surrender and breathe. So whatever you're doing here, feel the feet opening. Feel your feet as if you can breathe into them. One more breath. And then walk your hands back to either side of your knees. We're going to lift the head and the chest. And we're just going to do this little rocking over the feet. So just for the ankles, you know, your knees can touch the floor. This could also be cat-cow, right? Or the knees don't have to touch the floor. And you're just really moving your ankles. The calves are opening. Good. So we're going to do one more forward and back. And then we're going to come up for a forward fold. So I'll walk the hands back, and then we might even use a block here. And then just lift your hips up and take your forward fold. Walk your feet to a comfortable distance. Bend your knees if you need to. Melt the crown of the head to the floor. If your hands touch the floor comfortably, great. If not, that's where you use your blocks. And then in this forward fold, friends, find a way to just rock very gently forward and back. Like you feel the weight move to the toes and you feel the weight move into the heels. And then find that place, between the two where you feel the feet are evenly balanced. And then once you have that, so you take your time, and then you press the feet down into the floor like we were doing with the hands in cat-cow. Maybe the thighs will even press back. Even with the knees bent, you can still do all that action. Good. Okay, we're gonna stay in this forward fold. If you have your blocks, just move them out of the way. And you're just gonna take your hands for a little walk. And we're just gonna walk ourselves into downward facing dog. So you just walk your hands one at a time until you feel, oh, I'm here. And then adjust your feet or walk, do whatever you need to do. And I'm just gonna rock front to back on the feet. And you could even let the knees bend, so you're just lifting and lowering your heels, but maybe it's a rock front to back to plank. So it could just be knees, forward and back, whichever one. Feel your feet are moving. Good. Okay. Now we're gonna come all the way onto the tummy. So you can rock yourself into plank and maybe you hang out there for a breath or two. And to lower down, if you want to lower down without putting the knees down first, it's almost like pulling the floor up to meet you. And then you come down. So however you get here, you're here. Let your head rest on your hands. Turn your heels out, toes in, and drop into your breath. Lying on the floor, maybe you can even tune into your beating heart. Good. Nice big breath in. Sigh it out. Okay, stay down and keep your head down if you like. Tuck your little toes under. And you might even take them for a little walk because if they want to get a little more snug. And then once you have the toes tucked under, start to press the heels away from you. So you start to feel maybe the legs engage, maybe your thighs might even lift up. If you push the toes down, you might feel your thighs lift up. And just be here in all of this effort. The last thing I'm going to add is that the toes are almost like pulling the floor towards my hips. There's a lot happening. One more breath. And then release your legs, tops of the feet to the floor. Do nothing but breathe. Good. Okay, so we're going to start with baby cobra. So I'll put the tops of the feet on the floor. So I actually turn them like as if the heels want to hug towards each other. And then I spread the toes. And as I spread the toes, the heels find their home. So you don't feel like your lower back is being crunched. Okay, whatever's happening, it's fine. Take your hands underneath your shoulders and lift your head so you're just looking down at the floor. Now lift your shoulders up. Lift the shoulders and let that be the lift. And get to a place where you lift your head, your heart. Maybe the hands come off the floor. You spread your fingers, elbows in. I'm going to take my legs up off the floor, but I'm spreading the toes. Breathe. Look down so you're not, overarching the back of your neck. 2 more breaths. Smile into your joy, into your back strength. And then exhale and lower. Do nothing. Come back to that resting. Breathe. Yes. Well, I feel now we got to do the upper back. That's more for low back, mid back. Now let's do the upper back. So find the tops of the feet on the floor again. I hug the heels in towards each other. And then I anchor all of the toenails. And then when I get the baby toe, then the heels find their home. Okay, so now just press your hands into the floor, lift your head, interlace your fingers. We're going to Makrasana crocodile. I take these hands right behind the back of the head, lift your elbows, draw your belly in, move the shoulders away from your ears, and then inhale, lift your head, your heart, your hands, maybe the legs, And you keep pushing the back of the head into the hands, lift the shoulder, the elbows, breathe, spread your toes, all this stuff happening. One more breath. And release. This time, turn your head as you rest. So we have maybe the right cheek resting on the hands or right temple, whatever hits here. Breathe. Okay, so we have the head, your right cheek resting. If that works for you, great. You're gonna keep the right arm on the floor, spread your fingers, you can keep your head resting, bend your left knee. And now you take the left hand, you're just gonna sweep back, see if you can grab your foot. If you can't, maybe you grab your pants or you take time with your strap. And the hand can be baby toe edge, big toe edge. Okay, so I'm just gonna start by flexing the toes and pushing this foot into the hand. I'm not lifting the thigh. And I use the right arm to start to lift the head and the chest. And I'm just pushing back, that's it. Okay, maybe your left leg, or sorry, no, we have the left leg. Right leg wants to lift. And then if you feel strong, maybe the right arm extends. Okay, the last thing to do is to lift the left thigh, but that doesn't need to happen. One more breath. And then release the right arm down. Don't let the left leg go. I want to bring this, I'm going to turn my hand so I can get the elbow up and just draw this heel to your hip as best as you can. Okay, now it's about lifting the left shoulder. I'm going to walk the right arm in, see if I can lift my chest a little bit. This is a lot. I'm pushing that foot into the hand too. Breathe. And then release everything. Come down to rest. This time, turn your head, left cheek rests on your hands. And use your awesome powers of observation to feel the difference in the two sides. Good. Okay. So I'm going to keep the left cheek resting on the left or left temple, whatever it is, on the left hand. Just let your right arm come out a little bit so it's free. And then we'll bend the right leg. And you'll take the right hand around. See if you can grab, maybe your head and chest are lifting already. And whatever you get here, either side, pants, whatever it is, flex your foot and start to push it into the hand as if it wants to move away. And then the left arm anchors, maybe the head and chest lift, maybe the left leg lifts. And if you really are pushing that foot into the hand, it's going to keep you lifted so you can take the left arm off the floor. But just be compassionate and kind with wherever you need to stop. You know, just stay strong and anchored in all directions. And release. Oh, just release yourself. Don't let go of the right leg. Because now we're going to just turn the hand. Find the top of the right foot. Yeah, and you lift the shoulder. Maybe your elbow bends. You're going to bring this heel right in towards your hip as best as you can. Then I lift that right shoulder. Okay, now I'm pressing the right toes, the toenails into the hand. Now breathe here. You can find your lift of the left leg if you like. Not so important. I'm really pressing the left forearm down. And then release completely. Rest. You put your head however you like. Just rest completely. Nice, beautiful breathing. Good. Okay. Good. All right. Just rock your hips side to side, like as if you're wagging your happy puppy tail. And just let your low back kind of release a little bit here. And we're going to come back to Makrasana crocodile pose on the second side. That's where we put the hands behind the head. But this time you go opposite interlace of your fingers. And then whenever you're ready, extend your legs. Pop these hands behind your head. Lift your elbows, and on your inhale, lift your head, your heart, the elbows, the legs if you like. Move the shoulder blades away from the neck. Breathe. What are you dropping? What are you collapsing? And then release. Rest any way you like. Good. Nice. Okay, friends. So we're going to come up and back into child's pose. I'm gonna bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet together. Just for fun, give your soles of your feet together a little rub, like we rub the hands, we rub the soles of the feet. Good. And then just be here. Lift your head, take your hands underneath your shoulders or by your ribs, and then press your knees into the floor. You're gonna feel your tail lift, your tush lift, the thighs lift. Lift the shoulders, press the hands down, rise up. Roll over the knees and move yourself into your child's pose. Maybe you bring the knees closer together if that works for you, or you keep them wide and extending your arms if that works for you to really stretch out the low back, the whole back, the sides of your waist. Let your head drop, and if you need support between your hips and your heels, throw it in. Okay, so you stay in this extended child's pose. Hands are on the floor. If you even need to walk them in and bend your elbows, it's fine. Just push and pull the floor away a few times. And you kind of get this feeling of cat-cow happening. Move with your breath. It's very small. You might be imperceptible to the human eye, the movement you're doing. Good. And then just settle in. See. And take a few breaths. Good. Okay. So from here, we're going to come to downward facing dog. So you plant your hands on your inhale, rise up to your hands and your knees, tuck your toes under, and exhale, lift the knees up off the floor, come to downward dog, adjust your stance. So you might want to walk your feet back, spread your fingers, anchor the pads of the fingers, the heels of the hands, and then you look at your feet. How often do you get to look at your feet like this? And you press the heels back towards the floor. Press the thighs back. Stretch yourself so long. How can I get longer here? A dog does this. They bend their knees actually and lift the hips up higher. So you can embody that. Good. Okay, from here, I'm going to bring the right foot between the hands. So you might drop onto your knees and then bring it, or just spring yourself forward. Right foot between the hands. Okay, here's where you might want your blocks. So I'll just take a moment to just bring the blocks in. You have them. Okay, and then find your lunge. So, you take the time, it's all fine. Okay, from this lunge, you're just gonna straighten and bend. That's it. And just take your gaze forward. And as you do this, feel that left heel is almost resisting. So as you bend your right knee and come forward, that left heel is pressing back. Okay, one more, forward and back. And then we're gonna hang out in this lunge. Okay, I'm really pressing that. I'm gonna emphasize left thigh, up. Yeah, now squeeze the legs together. You might have to adjust your stance because we're coming up. You're gonna take your hands to your hips. Breathe here. Maybe the arms come up. Put your mind in your back leg. One more breath. And then exhale, hands down. Good. I'm just gonna pull this right foot back a little bit. Step the left foot forward. Inhale, look up. And exhale, fold into your forward fold. Hands can stay on your blocks or they come to the floor. Good. Take 2 breaths. Good. We're just gonna go second side from here. So I'll take my hands back to the blocks. Inhale, lift your head and your heart. And stay here as you exhale. Step your left foot forward between the blocks and the right foot back. And then coming in this way, you might wiggle it, get a little longer. And then just be here, feel this, nice and strong through the back leg. So don't let it sink. Lift it, almost like you want to put your tush back. And then we'll just flow in the straightening and the bending. And you can let the left foot, the heel stays on the floor, but the sole of the foot might lift. Okay, again, this is about the back heel. So really put your mind in that right heel and feel it almost resisting the lunge. Do one more, and then we'll come into the lifted lunge. So really activate that back leg, squeeze the thighs towards each other, come up, woo, hands to your hips, or straight up, and breathe here. Yes, you can pull the side mid-belly back. One more breath. And then release, hands to the floor. Okay, this time I'm gonna go downward dog. So I'm just gonna move my blocks out of the way. Hands to the floor, pull the left leg back. Just extend yourself nice and long in your downward dog. One more breath. Good, inhale to your plank. You can even ripple through. And your knees can come to the floor, they can stay lifted. Take one breath. And then exhale, lower yourself down, knees first, chest first. All good. Once you're down, take a breath in, a breath out. Set your legs. So you might even lift one leg up at a time, see if you can get longer. We're coming up for cobra. So hands underneath the shoulders or by the ribs, spread your fingers, elbows in, lift your shoulders, draw your belly in, and then press into the hands and rise up. Keep the shoulders moving back though. Think of the heart lifting. Come as high as works for you. If it doesn't work to come high, don't do it. Good. One more breath. And then from here, I'm going to tuck my toes under. Hands and knees. And maybe it's child's pose or downward dog, yogi's choice. Yeah. Again, breathe. One more breath. Okay, I'm going to bring the left foot between the hands. So however you want to do that, maybe it's just a boop, or it comes halfway and you grab it and place it. Okay, I'm going to take my blocks back. Okay, so from here, we're in this lunge. I'm going to shorten it up. So I'll take the back foot, just hop it in until you feel like both feet are on the floor as best as you can. You can walk your right foot to the right or left foot out, make more space. Good. Okay, then I press into the blocks. I'm going to start with this halfway. So I'm just pressing the thighs back, drawing the belly in. Breathe. And then exhale and fold over this leg. So the blocks are there. You know, they might even go forward, you know, if you want to stretch yourself long here, or they could come in, or you might not need them. Just drop in. Okay, put your mind in your feet. Can you feel that both feet are, you know, connected to the floor evenly? Heel, both sides of the heel, inner and outer foot. One more breath. Good. Okay, and then bring yourself back onto the blocks. So come back to this halfway. And we're just going to take a little revolved triangle. So I keep the right hand on the block. I'm going to pull this left hip back and take the left arm up. And so you're just pulling this left hip back as you reach. You know, if you feel unbalanced, put your mind in your feet. One more breath. And then release. And we'll just bring that left foot back, right foot forward. Take your forward fold. This time you might grab opposite elbows and just let yourself hang. So knees bent or legs straight, you know, you honor what you need. Feel the whole back like just dropping towards the floor. And then change the grasp with your elbows. And let's bring some movement in. Maybe you rock side to side. Let your knees bend and your hips move as they need to. Good. Okay, then bring it to center. I'm going to come all the way up, friends, just like an interlude to come back down. So open the arms out to the side. I'll bend the knees a lot. And then inhale, come up through the power of your feet. Exhale, hands at your heart. Pause here. Okay, one more breath. You're doing great. Okay, then release your arms down by your side. Inhale, sweep up, look up. Exhale, open the arms. Come back to your forward fold, knees bent or legs straight. Okay, my hands are on the blocks. I'm going to press my hands down, lift the head and the heart, look forward. Then stay here. Step your right foot a little bit forward and left foot a little bit back. So you find that place where both feet are on the floor. You can walk them out, make more room. Just be wherever this is. And we stay in the upright. I push my hands into the block. I'm taking this mid-belly in and pressing my thighs back. And smiling. Even if you don't feel it, you smile. And we'll take one more breath here. And then we're going to fold down. So you can keep your hands on your blocks, just be very kind. You know, this can be very intense. Maybe the hands want to go forward. So, or they come back. Or you put your hands on the floor. So just explore. Breathe. Good. And then we're going to come back to the hands on the blocks. The blocks is nice, you know, but you don't need to use them. And okay, pull the right hip back. Keep the left hand on the block. Nice and strong in your legs, and you take the right arm up to the sky. So it is a big twist. Breathe into your space, anchor your feet. Pull that right hip back. And then release. And we're coming to downward facing dog. So I just set my blocks aside. I'm going to step back. Good. That's it. Okay. So in downward dog, lift your heels so high. Pivot both feet, both heels to the right, and press the heels to the floor. Then you bend your knees and just push the hands back. So just a little stretch here. Yeah, and then we'll just straighten the legs, lift the heels. Pivot the heels to the left. Anchor them down. Bend your knees, just push. Good. And then come to your center. Lower your knees to the floor. I'm going to rest in child's pose. I'm going to take my knees nice and wide apart. Big toes gently touch. Hips to your heels. And then extend your arms. Lower yourself down. Whenever you get here, you have your blocks. If you need them, you throw them in. Forehead to the floor. Great surrender. As if you could just, you know, plant yourself into the earth here. Okay, walk your hands back in and come up. And we're going to move into Virasana. I know it's not everybody's favorite, but it is like this good thigh stretch. So this is, you know, you might have one block, you might have 10 blocks. I just put the block between the feet. So I know I'm good with one block. My knees come towards each other and I just press down the calves as I come to sit here. So I know I'm good. But, you know, if you need more, and if this is not a good sit for you, then you just come to cross-legged. You know your body the best. So more blocks, more blankets, more bolsters. You know, if Hart was here, he'd be up nice and high. So wherever you need to be here. And once you're in, if the knees feel a little tight, if you just lift your kneecap flesh up and just kind of pull it, it might help. Okay. So now I'm going to take the hands back, and it might just be one hand at a time or both. Just massage your feet. So you might paint horizontal lines with your thumbs. Good. Okay. So we want to have the toes in a little bit, heels out a little bit. You don't have to do much. Just maybe turn your toes in or a little bit more in. And then you sit up nice and tall. You're here. If this is enough, it's enough. Maybe you take the hands back and you come back. I turn my hands out, but you can have them any way you like. I'm going to take the belly in, press the feet down. Okay, I'm going to lift the hips up off the floor here, or off the block, or off your support, and then just bring them down. Almost like we did little bridge. Yeah, just do that a few times for yourself. You can let your head drop back if that's okay, or keep the chin in. So just lift and lower. I'm going to do two more. Open the shoulders back. Really press down. Good, I'll do one more. Okay. Now we're just going to hang out and breathe. We're here for another 5 breaths. I'm going to take the block out because once you can come back, you probably don't need it. Once you can come back. If I keep the chin in, I lift the belly. Oh, hello. I feel that. And some of you might come all the way down. And take your arms over your head, opposite elbows. But I'm really lifting through the belly, pressing the knees down. Be content with wherever you are. Be content. Okay, we release from this maybe through a downward dog, if that feels good. If you need to come out, you just come out. Otherwise, I've got 2 more breaths. We'll breathe nice and loud. We can hear them. Good. Okay, and then we just come up. You just find this little pop-up. Oh, so gorgeous. Really beautiful, guys. So it might just be one leg back at a time or a downward dog. And I just push the thighs back. You might bend the knees, take the legs for a little walk. Okay, so we're gonna come onto our backs. I'm gonna do that from here. I'll lift the heels high, bend the knees, and we'll sweep both knees over to one side. Oh, maybe I'll give a little lift here just for fun. But then I gotta do the other side, so do that for fun, and then just sweep your tush down. And you're here. Yes! Oh, beautiful. Okay, so we're gonna come to lie down. If you need anything for your Shavasana, your sweaters, your socks, the last cool day in Calgary for a long time, find that. And now I'm gonna use the block I thought I would use earlier. So once you're down and comfortable, something under your head might be nice. Then we'll take, bend the knees, feet on the floor, and we'll come to supported bridge pose. So the block goes under your sacrum. If you don't have a block, just pillows, anything to just lift your hips. The block rests on the bones of the sacrum. So you are not on the spine, you're at the base. And that block can be any height. Find your place. Good. So let's just take a few moments here. Maybe you find a bit of cat-cow if that works for you on the block. Just arching and tilting. Good. Okay. Good. Let's take 2 more breaths. We're not coming off the block, but whatever you're doing, fine. Start to bring it into center so that you just feel yourself on the block. Feet are on the floor. And feel into all 4 corners of your feet, the inner and outer edges, not pressing down, but you are aware of them on the floor. Even feeling, the pad of the big toe, pad of the baby toe. Good. All right. Now I'm just going to separate the knees apart a little bit. You might heel toe your feet apart. And we're going to come to a very gentle windshield wiper. So the knees are just rocking side to side very gently, as a way of just releasing the low back, all of these things we did today. Just as if you're like, a windshield wiper, massage. Good. That's it. Okay. And then bringing yourself back to rest over the block. I'm going to find the block with my hands. Now, if you can put the block to the next highest, if that's okay for you, go ahead. If it's no good, stay where you are. So if you come to the highest, you might have to lift the heels. I'm just going to hold on to the block and heel till my feet so that I feel like they're not touching, but they're hip distance apart. Keep the right foot where it is. Bring the left knee into your chest. And then we'll extend this left leg up. It could also stay bent. Now the right leg is going to extend out, and you might have the heel on the floor depending how high you are on the block, or you might lift the leg up and as if it's parallel to the block, just send it out. Okay, the last thing to do, I'm on the highest height, so it is a challenge to hold on to this left knee, but if you've got that, then you are, no awards, no prizes, you just got it. But if you don't, that's fine, just keep your hands on the floor or on your block. And now I'm going to switch legs. I'm going to do that in midair, really consciously staying balanced on the block. And then just take a few breaths in your variation of this. Really great for the back. Good. Okay. Oh, look at the time. All right, and we take the feet down. And I'll lift the hips up, take the block out, lower down. And as you come all the way down, you might want to hug your knees in, rock side to side, just to feel how anchored you are, release the back. Be like a happy baby. Feel free to do that. You can grab the outer edges of your feet. Whatever works, be here. Breathe. And I'm just going to take a little twist very quick. I just feel the low back kind of needs a little twisting. Take the arms down and just bring the knees in. Just drop them over to, let's go all the way to the right. Turn your palms up. Let's take 3 to 5 breaths here. Nice, beautiful breathing. And then whenever you're ready, friend, you'll just bring the knees back up and drop them over to the other side for the same amount of breaths. Good. And then whenever you're ready, nothing to do here, but just bring in this great rest, conscious relaxation. So you can stretch your legs out whenever you're ready. Arms down by your sides, and then just let everything flop. If you have an eye covering, you can put that on now too. And just as we move into Shavasana, I'm going to just slip you a few mantras. So once you're settled, the first mantra, just to repeat to yourself a few times, is my breath is flowing freely. My breath is flowing freely. And softening your eyes, your jaw, feeling my breath is flowing freely. And just moving to your second mantra whenever you're ready. My mind is calm and relaxed. My mind is calm and relaxed. And just following those two mantras or letting them go and just being still. Melting through the back of the heart, the shoulders, it's resting deeply. And just bringing your attention to the soles of your feet, open and relaxed. Just tuning into the energy at the soles of your feet. And then guiding your awareness up through the soles of the feet to the crown of your head. And just breathing with awareness through the crown of your head. And then just feeling yourself being breathed and your breath flowing freely. And staying in your rest for as long as you like. If you have more time, stay. Otherwise, we'll start to just wiggle fingers and toes and ankles and wrists. Maybe extending your arms over your head, taking a big stretch. And just continuing on, bending the knees. Maybe the knees into the chest for a few. And then eventually rolling over to your side and just resting there for a few breaths. And really take your time, don't need to rush. So taking your time again. Once you're ready, you'll come up to seated. Sitting in a comfortable way, so you honor the practice and you honor your seat, even this moment here. Good. Just being in your sacred bubble, the space you have carved out for yourself amidst your day to just simply breathe and move and feel and explore. Great act of self-love. Nice. And so staying as you are as you inhale. And as you exhale, bring your hands together in front of your heart. You bow your chin with great reverence for all that you offer yourself and all that you offer those in your world on a daily. Just deeply acknowledge the work you do. And on your next inhalation, anchor your sit bones lengthen tall through the crown of your head. And exhale this breath completely. And we'll join together in our May We Be Blessed mantra, and we'll seal that with one Om. So inhale. May we be blessed with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be healthy and may we be happy. We'll seal that with one Om. Inhale. You take a full inhale. Breathe into your hands. Catch your breath. Put all your love, devotional energies in there. And you lift your head and your heart. You offer this to yourself. Yes, and then we'll offer it out to each other, all the way to Singapore. It is everything. Calgary. Yes, and then take it back. All right. Well, thank you so much, you guys, for being here so much. Appreciate it. And so much love. So no class next Friday. I'm going to gift myself a week off. I'm very excited. No schedule. But otherwise, I'll see you guys on Sunday, I hope. So thank you, Tim, for coming. And everybody, thank you for being here. So much love, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, Marta. I'll see you later.